Hey everybody, Corey Gemini Guitar, and we're back for some blackish, maybe a little bit old school death metal type stuff. A little bit of a medium tempo, so not too quick, not too slow. It's got the nice double kick drums and so forth. And it's a lot of fun to do. So this one focuses on some cross picking, tremolo picking. You can do the majority of it on the 6th string, but we're going to challenge ourselves a bit by not doing that. And I'll take you through it and we'll see how we go. So we're going to be in the open position, which means from the open strings into kind of the first 3 frets. The notes we're going to be using, we're going to have the low E, which is our key note. And then we're going to be using the G and the F sharp. And we're also going to be using the tritone, which is my favorite interval, and the octave, or the root octave, back into the tritone. And what we're going to be doing is, to that rhythm, we're going to be basically playing along with the double kick drum. So the rhythm we're going to be doing is essentially a sextuplet type rhythm. So you think of this as playing 6 notes within 1 beat. There's a particular feel about it, so it's the equivalent of 2 triplets, but it feels a bit different to 2 triplets, so it's a group of 6. If we slow it down a bit. Notice I'm accenting the first of each 6. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So as far as the note choices, obviously we're starting on the key note, and the way it's going to work is we're going to do 2 groups of the key note first, the low E, and then we're going to do 1 group each of the G and the F sharp, and we're going to repeat the F sharp a little bit more after that. So far I'll play it a bit slower. It sounds like this. So I think we're doing 3 groups of F sharp. Let's check. Yep, we are. And then we're going to do 1 group each of the G and the F sharp again at the end of that. So let's play that a little bit slower just to see how we go. And repeat. Almost ballsed it up, but I didn't, so that's good. Now the second time through, it's essentially going to be the same, or the notes are going to change in the same spot, but they are going to be different notes at times. So we start again with our key note, 2 lots. And then we're going to go to the tritone from the G. If I play it a bit quicker, you'll see that. And then the G and the F sharp again at the end. So everything's the same amount, but some of the notes are different. Let's play it at a slower tempo. And what we might do now is we'll play at a slower tempo and we'll do both sequences. Here we go. Repeat. And that concludes the first half of the sequences. Okay, so for the second time through, it's a little bit different because we're going to be using the higher root in E. That's the 2nd fret on the 4th string. And so the way this bit will work will be like this. There's that little, I think it's an 8th note sequence at the end. So let's break it up, starting with the keynote low E. We're going to do 2 lots of that. And then what you're going to have to do is cross over to the 4th string. So what I do recommend for this is utilizing my approach, which is where I turn the hand out. I might just get the right angle. What have we got? So what I'll tend to do is, instead of being, if you just carefully watch my hand here, instead of being just parallel, I often talk about the angle, but the other important aspect is what I do tend to do is with this hand here, I'll actually turn it outward a little bit, and then I'll just angle a bit more like that. So when I cross the string, what that enables me to do is to hone in on specific strings just a bit easier. I think that's just because of the ability to pivot there with the wrist, as opposed to when you're, parallel to the strings, you sort of get caught in the strings there. So do try that. Remember, it's not parallel, so just turn the hand outward a bit from the wrist, let the wrist just come down a little bit, and then just angle the pick a bit more. And I do find that's helped a lot with my tremolo pickings. Essentially, all these notes are going to be in the same amount of groupings, but again, different notes at some of those times. So we've got the 2 lots of the low E, and then we've got the 1 lot of the higher E. And then we're going to do 3 lots of the B flat tritone. And then we've got the G and the F sharp again for the same amount, 6 each. And then we're going to repeat all that, but at the end, we're going to do a different sequence where we play. I tend to do a bit of palm muting with this bit too. So it's B, fret 2 on the 5th, fret 1 on the 5th, to the tritone, and then G and F sharp, ending on the low E power chord. So it should sound something like this. And that's about that really. So use the transcription and also the drum track to play along with. The drum track's better than the metronome because you're going to be grooving out with something that sort of fills out the space more. The metronome is a bit more kind of precise, and there's not as wide a sound. So it's much more beneficial to practice with the drum track. And essentially it's what I like to call the band in the box. So you're kind of, rehearsing with, it is a machine, but it's setting you up so if you did have to play with a real drummer, you'd be more comfortable doing that rather than playing on your own or with a metronome. In any case, have fun with it, and I'll see you soon for the next lesson. So until then, bye for now.